A very good morning to you all, children. Children, I welcome you all to today's session of computers. And today we will be studying a very interesting topic, which is types of software. Right? You all know software is a set of programs. So, all the programs which run on a computer are of certain types. Right? We will be learning that. Right? Whatever we say, the games which we play, then we type on it, the question paper which you got on your exams, they are all on some softwares. Right? So, let us see through this beautiful discussion between two children. We know how to start a computer, but how does the CPU control all the components? CPU is Central Processing Unit. See the answer. We need software to operate the computer. How many types of software are required to run a computer? Now, this is the definition of software. Software is a set of instructions that tell a computer what to do. Software is required to operate and use the computer. Now, a computer is a machine that cannot work on its own. It works on our instructions. We make a computer work by giving a set of instructions called a program. A program tells the computer to accept input, performs processing and on the input, and produce an output. Right? A collection of such programs is called a software. Now, a computer can never work on its own. Like if we leave a computer and we think that it will be solving everything, it cannot. Whatever we input by typing or by touching the screen, on the basis of that a computer performs certain function, right? It performs certain operation. This is called a program, right? The set of instruction which we give to the computer is called a program, right? And a collection of such programs is called a software. Now, BIOS, the moment we power on the desktop, a software called Basic Input Output System starts or boots the computer. This software resides on a small chip called ROM or flash memory. The ROM is the part of the motherboard, right? It is believed as ROM is believed as the mind, is taken as the mind of the computer, right? It is believed to be the mind of the computer which sets on the computer. The moment we on the computer, this basic input output system, it starts working, right? And it starts the computer. Now see, basic input output system is the first software that runs on a computer when power is switched on. BIOS checks whether all the hardware units are working. When we switch on a system, we see many messages informing that a particular hardware is working fine. These messages are received from BIOS. Right? Like see in the screen, the two screens which are shown. A screen like any of these can be there. If hardware is not working, for example, if a hard disk is not working, then BIOS gives a corresponding error message. Means suppose there is any error in any hardware if that is not working properly, then this BIOS sends some message. Right? It sends some message. The most important role of BIOS is to load the operating system. When we turn on your computer, the CPU needs instructions to locate the operating system in the hard disk. The BIOS provides these instructions, right? Because it is the operating system which controls the entire working of a computer, and that is also a program, so it needs to be started. Then BIOS starts the operating system. Now see here, there is a definition given. BIOS gives control to the computer to the operating system. This process is called booting of the computer. Booting refers to the starting of the computer. Right? Now, after the operating system takes over, we can start using the computer. Operating system enables us to use a Word document, print an email, and use the internet browser. All the same time, operating system controls and manages all the activities of the computer. Right? It's the operating system which controls the entire working of the computer. whatever we want to do is done by the operating system, and it manages the activities. The operating system is responsible for managing the computer hardware and software resources. It controls the memory needed for the computer processes, manages disk space, controls peripheral devices, and manages user communication with the computer. So basically, all the hardware which are linked with the computer are controlled by the operating system. Not only that, within it also controls the memory part of the computer, right? And the communication, the user communication is also controlled by it. There are many operating systems available like Linux. These are the example: Ubuntu, Red Hat, Debian, Windows, and Mac OS. These are the various operating systems which are there. Now see in mindfulness, what is the difference between BIOS and operating system is that BIOS has very limited instructions in it, which are limited up to the loading of operating system, right? Now BIOS transfers and controls. At the end of the booting process, BIOS transfers the control to operating system, right? It has a limited operations. Now see, these are the few operating systems: Linux, Windows, Mac OS. Now, Linux is a multitasking, multi-user operating system that is known for its stability. Linux is a Unix based operating system that is available for free on the World Wide Web. Right? So it's a software which is available for free, right? It's available for free there, and in the World Wide Web, and it's known for it's a very stable one. Windows. It was created by Microsoft in the mid 1980s, right? Bill Gates was the owner of this company. It comes preloaded on most of the new PCs. It is the most popular operating system in the world, right? Mac. It is also a very popular operating system created by Apple Inc. Application software. We require application software to do any specific task on the computer. Scratch, word processor, email application, and games are examples of application software. We can also install new application software as and when required, right? So I think we should stop here because lot many new things we are learning today, right? We have learned today, so you need time to revise. So I hope you enjoyed this session as much as I did, and until we meet again, it's a goodbye.